Welcome to the show. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Terrell. You ever been elsewhere and overheard two people having crazy conversations?
Well, we are those people. We've been having these conversations since college.
Yep, it's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts podcast, Summer House Martha's Vineyard, Season 2, Episode 7 recap. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
You know, 7 episodes in, and I think last season it was only 8 episodes, right?
I believe so.
And it seems like they're going to have more episodes this season, just because based on where they are and the number of days. Because I think by this time they were like, day 13, let's get the hell out of here. Things are a little different this time around, but so many things are still the same. And one of those things, it's in the thumbnail, right? And in fact, and I asked this question before we even get into reviewing this, is Bria the real villain of this season? Because Summer seemed to be the leading candidate at first.
Bria did start to take the lead a little bit. I will say
it's
that.
A race to the bottom.
Yeah, it's a race to see who's going to be the hot mess.
It's like, who can be the worst on TV? We know there are cameras there. Let's see if we can make it any worse. I mean, even the last episode where she tried to take the dog to the club, and like, well, I get to take the dog to the club in Spain, in Greece, in Rome. Like, you're in America.
Yeah, you're at Martha's Vineyard. No, you don't bring your dog with you to the club.
Mm-hmm. It is bananas. Wouldn't Nikki say Amir's a colonizer? Why are you going to call Amir Drake today? Stop it. Let's not do that. I do like how this is the exact same party last year episode that they gave like the Black history of Martha's Vineyards last year. This year they gave a different Black history lesson, and we'll get to that in a few because I know you really probably enjoyed the way they told that story, or not.
It was all right.
It was all right.
It was all right. They could have went deeper if it was Preston and the Alphas. They probably would have went a little bit more in depth.
Oh my God! Here you go.
We got a shimmy out of it. So there you go.
Oh dear God! You're just such a hater. You can't help yourself.
Thank you.
You can't help yourself. Well, we pick up in the aftermath of Summer's meltdown. We're seeing the last remnants of it as Hurricane Summer skirts off the coast and heads out to sea. How are you feeling watching her final meltdown here?
That was alcohol, man. I mean,
it's a hell of a drug.
I just feel like she's too old to be getting that sloppy, and to let all her emotions all come out when she's drunk. And I know we've all been there, so it's not I'm not throwing her any shade. It's just you're too old to be doing this at this point in your life.
Yeah, it's almost like when Alex Preston and Noel were sitting there. Alex was like, "Yeah, you stop using being drunk as an excuse." And I get it. Alcohol brings out certain things that are there, but it's there. And this is the things that Alex said before. In the last year, the things that attracted me to her, she was calm, cool, collective, and this year she is, who the hell is this?
Yeah, but the way I view the world, and I'm always different, but the way I view the world, everybody has something going on. Everybody's dealing with something. You don't take out the stuff you're dealing with on your friends. You shouldn't do it to strangers either, but don't take it out on your friends. We're all dealing with stuff. You're not special. So I just didn't care for all that.
No, I really didn't either, man. And here's something else I didn't care for, right? And that was Bria deciding to tell the new person, Natalie, who's not even a person. She's just adjacent. Would they say she's just like, beige adjacent? If what everybody say, man, Melissa's got words for Amir. I mean, why y'all coming out on Amir like this?
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything. All he did was bring his girlfriend that he kisses the ground that she walks on so he can keep his benefits. But Bria is telling Natalie all the tea, right? And this, I believe, is where we get to see the start of Natalie turning into CNN. Oh, you know what? Better yet, Fox News.
You think so?
Hey, I'm just saying. Because what does she do after that? Natalie goes and downloads all the tea to Jordan and Donald like she was there. Well, let me tell you what happened.
Yeah, I did think that was a bit messy. I mean, just, hey, that's not your business. Let them deal with it. But I'm sure the producers said, hey, Natalie, tell them what Bria said. So I don't want to assume that Natalie is messy. But again, this is a reality show. We know the producers like to start stuff. And so she could have easily said, yeah, I'm not going to bring that up. That was a private conversation between me and Bria that was on camera.
Here's what it is, though. Because she kind of said this to Amir, and they're just not my vibe. I think she's looking down her nose at them, right?
She's looking down her nose at the way they were acting at Freaknik, because she's like, this is way too wild for her. It'd be too wild for me. I couldn't have lasted at that party.
You don't think it's more than that?
I can't assume it's more than that. I just could agree why she would be like, hey, y'all a little bit too much. Because even Amir doesn't really party like that. And even last season, and even this season, since he's been with Natalie, you don't really see Amir getting too crazy. Right. But the other folks, they get crazy every night.
They do. But at the same time, I think I don't know why. I just get this feel. Here's the thing. I didn't think so last week, right? But there were women in the chat saying, she's snobby, she's this, and I'm like, how are you seeing this? And then I'm looking at, I think she's kind of looking down. And like Keely says, she is. She's looking down on them.
I don't know. I mean, I think you just don't like her. And that's totally okay. So it doesn't matter what she does.
Here's the rest of Keely's comment. Natalie's just Terrell's type. That's why he's taking up for her. I can't let you do this, Keely.
Yeah, I guess since we don't have Michael on, she's just gonna put all that frustration out on me. That's fine.
Oh Jesus! The women. Casey Cake says Keely with the hard read. Yeah, I mean, that was a little harsh there. Not entirely accurate. I'm gonna back up my boy on that. Jesus. And thank you, Michelle. Natalie is a snooty, nosy, messy person. Exactly. I thought you were about to say something else. I'm glad you kept it clean. Now, interesting thing about this, Summer pulls Noel to the side to talk and apologize, right? And she says, hey, Noel was just on the receiving end of her anger towards Bria. What is the issue with Summer and Bria? Did I miss it?
I don't know, because Bria wasn't mad that night.
She wasn't, which is surprising.
Right. Bria wasn't mad. She just let her go. Just, okay, keep saying whatever you want to say. Even when she said what she said about Simon. Bria didn't lose her mind. She was just whatever. But it's whatever Summer's issue is. But I think as she keeps talking about it, it winds up being deeper than that. That she feels maybe not as connected to the rest of the folks. And I think her apology was okay. I thought her apology was okay. And she even said, hey, I can't blame alcohol, whatever. But Noel was your homegirl that you brought to the place. And you treated her worse than the people you've been knowing for years.
Yeah, because she pushed her.
Yeah.
And then turns and goes, I pushed her. You happy? Noel, and it's something that was said earlier here, that Noel was a good friend to her, right? Which is true. Noel was way too good of a friend. And we said this last week, too. She was still a friend of Summer, but stood on business. The problem I have, though, is that Noel kept chasing after her. I know that annoyed the hell out of you. And even as this episode began, she's still right there. And it's just like, let her go. Let her just keep digging her own grave, right?
Sometimes you just got to let people fall. And just deal with it later. But I agree that she shouldn't stay up in her face. But personally, I think Noel should have been done with Summer back when Summer was like, yeah, you should talk to Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and holler at us. That should be Summer's cue to say, okay, I need to keep her at a distance until we leave Martha's Vineyard, keeping her at a distance.
And if that wasn't enough, then when she brought it back up and they go, well, yes. Okay, well, my bad. I didn't tell you that, he's been inside of me and I made him come this many times. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When she threw that tantrum, she should have left her ass alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have, but yeah, she should have been chasing around the whole time. But, at least Summer got Noel got her apology, and Noel got a chance to express how she felt. And I like how Noel, because what she did as a good friend is to say, you're an angry drunk. Mm-hmm. When you get drunk, you are a totally different person. Mm-hmm. And it made Summer realize, hey, I probably shouldn't drink today.
Yeah. And which was a good thing for her. By the way, Chocolate Cinema says I would have left Summer in her TLC creep PJs alone. Kitty's coming for everybody to say, how did Noel make that about her anyway? Noel is kind of duh. Kitty, you want something on your mind? Something's on your mind, let it off.
How was your day today, Kitty? Is everything all right?
Kitty act like it's a Monday.
Yeah, as Auntie's advice says, are you okay?
Well, look, man, on a brighter note of stuff that was happening, that next morning, Nick gets up. He's going to go run a 5K. We found out that he's run like 10 marathons. 5K should be nothing, right? Easy.
Yeah, 3.1 should be pretty easy for him. I think he just wanted to run out on the Vineyard just because he hadn't run out there before, at least in a race. So I thought it was cool.
So the reasoning he gave for it and the fact that he placed fifth was a big thing. And the fact he did it in under 20 minutes. Like, dang.
Yeah, he was 6-something minutes per mile. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he was moving. And, I really, you learn a lot about Nick, in this episode. And I can totally relate because, so Nick lost his line brother, passed away, and it was his 5 on his line. Right. So Nick was a 4. So that's his 5. And then, no, actually, Nick was a 6. Nick was a 6. He's taller. I saw this. So, Nick was a 6, so he had to have been 5. Mm-hmm. But in 2005, I lost my line brother. I was a 2. He was our number 3, and he was killed in 2005. And so, I connected with him on that. And so it was touching. And the whole fact that he came in 5th and his line brother was a 5, it was just a cool moment for Nick, in my opinion.
It really was. It really was in that space. And we'll get to him actually revealing that to the group a little later. But like Nikki B says, I don't like the way they took issue with Nick expecting some support. Because when he said, hey, guys, 2 words, good luck, something, and then the fact that Noel's like, oh, is he tone deaf? I mean, we had a lot going on last night.
Well,
he wants us to run a marathon? No, he didn't even ask y'all to run. He just wanted some support.
I watched this episode twice. Mm-hmm. And the first time I watched it, I was like, Nick, why do you need their support? You've been running all the time. Mm-hmm. What's the big deal? Mm-hmm. But I ran my first 10K in 2011, and nobody came, no one support. And when I got done with the race, I was so proud of the feeling of accomplishment, and I had no one to celebrate that with. So I could understand where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm. It was an emotional event for him in that space, right? And he's been there for everybody else. When everybody needed something, he's been there trying to help them out. So I can understand why he's like, yo. But I like how he did it. He said it, and then he's like, all right, I just want to get that out. Moving on, right? Because that's what adults do. That's what Kappa men do.
That's what guys do. We have a fight. We're done. Let's go drink some beer together with both of our black eyes, and it's done. It's over with. But yeah, I mean, I like how he's just said it, got it out of the system, and then he just moved on.
Yeah. Tehu says the definitely should have supported him. Arcan agrees. And Dorica says, I wish they were there for Nick. He's such a sweetie. And back to what you had mentioned as well, too, because I don't want to just gloss past that. Because Chocolate Sim said I was crying when Nick talked about his line brother. She says she was an anchor. And Kitty says, sorry to hear that, Terrell, about losing your line brother as well, too. And Ravine says, I lost my front, can relate also. It still hurts.
Yeah. It's tough when that happens. I mean, you don't expect it. And if you think about it, and after this episode, I was thinking about it. Will was my line brother, and he was in staffing. And so I was a manager at Applebee's at that time when he passed. And so who would have thought he'd be proud of the fact that I've been in recruiting now for 18 years.
Right.
But that's what he did, you know.
Yeah.
And he was the one that talked me into being an alpha. So, yeah, I mean, we all have our stories, all our experiences. And I think what I don't know for sure is if everybody knew all that before Nick ran the race. And maybe if they knew why it was so important to him, maybe they would have shown up.
Funny you should say that, because Hate Waiting says maybe he should have made sure they knew what it meant to him.
Yeah.
They probably just thought, Nick just wants to wear them short shorts again.
He always running. Whatever.
He wants to wear his crop top and short shorts again. Go ahead, Nick. That's probably what it was. They didn't realize it was 5 inches. See, they had to realize. Yeah, right. Anyway, no, and Motown Investor, no. Even my wife told me we're not doing that. Sorry, I just got to jump in there and say that the Barnes Bunch, that's your boy Matt Barnes.
No. It's not that I don't like Matt Barnes, but no.
By the way, Dina says Nick just wants to show his belly.
Hey, you know, dude's fit. I get it.
He is.
Totally get it.
Still had the fake tats on the back, running, so it was dope. Gets back there after he gets them, tells them about the support, and he's like, okay, look, let's go ahead and hear their assignments. Interesting thing, and this is where, again, I think Bria just slides into her normal role of being the villain. Like, all right, so what do you want me to do? Do we really have to have a meeting? Just tell me what it is you want me to do so I can do that one thing. He tells her, and then her and Shanice go off, and she says she's not doing the one thing that he asked her to do. Why the hell did you even ask in the first place then?
See, this is where I bonded with Nick. And remember when you were here for my crawfish boil? What did you keep asking me? Do you need help?
You know what you need
Do you
help
know?
with? Yeah.
And I said, nope, I'm good. I don't like asking for help because of the Brias of the world that are going to offer help and then complain about it. So I just do it myself. I don't want help. I don't want you to do anything. I'm doing a crawfish boil Thursday for Team Member Appreciation Week at the branch office. And everybody's like, Terrell, what can I do to help? I'm like, nothing. I got it. Because that's just who I am.
You're a planner like that. You don't like to ask for help. You almost got to force yourself to help you. Chocolate Cinema said, I love when production showed no one helping Bria for her party like she claimed. Because Bria's such a brat. That's exactly what she did.
Yeah, and cleaning the bathroom. What's the big deal?
I don't do that. Hire a maid.
Yeah.
You
wasn't
do
like clean
that.
the bathroom of the restaurant. It's just a bathroom.
When she's in Europe with Simon, what does she say she does? She cooks and she cleans for him. That's it.
She's that type of friend that I couldn't rock with. You know, I think everybody has their reasons why they have certain friends in their world. She's the type of person I couldn't have in my team. At all.
Here's the thing that really irritated me, though, because Tasia arrives. Because remember, Bria does say, hey, well, you clean it up for your own. If I'm not doing it for somebody, I got my own man to look after. Then Tasia shows up, and Bria's so damn fake. Oh, my God, I miss you. Stop it. Stop it.
That's just who she is. Again, this is why she couldn't be in my team. I'm like, nope. Not even an acquaintance. I don't need that. I don't need that negativity in my life.
Hey, Kitty's back. She says, Bria looks too much like Milo for me.
Woo, Kitty. On it today.
So, Jordan and Shanice having a conversation with Bria, right? Down in the kitchen, asking how she's feeling about Summer. And, as she's explaining the whole thing about why she was really upset, especially with Summer revealing some information that she said. And, like, why would you throw this back in my face? And here's where Bria got me on her side for a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Because if I share something with you, you throw it back in my face, I'm never telling you anything again. I'm with her in this one.
Right.
And as she's sharing this information, who should walk up but production pushed the Summer in there. Go, quick. Summer shows up, and she's like, hey, Bria, you want to talk?
And I love how Bria handled it. No, not right now. Because if you're not ready, I know for me, if I'm not ready, if you pissed me off, I'm not ready to talk, we're not talking yet. And it could be a week.
Right.
It could be 2 weeks. And I say, hey, you still want to have that chat? I'm open now. Because all I'm going to do is just get more annoyed with you. The fact that you're trying to talk to me right now when I don't want to.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with Bria on that. That's where she got my smidgen of support. Just that quick. Like Melissa says, hey, do you see Bria's room is a mess, particularly when Milo ransacks it? Yeah, so she's got a lot of work to do on her own room, so that's probably why she can't afford to help clean the bathrooms, right?
Summer's room's a mess, too. I mean, a lot of them. The guys seem to have the neatest rooms, probably due to Nick. But the ladies' rooms are disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. Due to the Kappa. You're absolutely right.
The two Kappas and the
you
Kappa
have something
wannabe.
smart to say.
Yeah, the two Kappas and the Kappa wannabe. Got it.
Well, look, here we go. Luxe on the Bluff 2, right? And this is an interesting. The party last year, they did the Luxe on the Bluff. But one thing I noticed this year, and tell me, and maybe I'm just misremembering what happened last year. But was there so much hate this year and pettiness going on at the last year's Luxe on the Bluff? When you had like Shanice, Noel, and Bria standing off to the side just talking shit, being petty as hell?
Well, it's because there's more episodes. So they have time to add in a lot more pettiness. Yeah. Maybe that stuff got edited out last time.
Yeah, probably true. Well, interesting conversation that did happen to kick off this Luxe on the Bluff was Amir having a sit-down, reluctantly having a sit-down with Mariah. This was like you coming into watching season 13 of Married at First Sight.
Good example. Yeah, I like that. I was curious how this conversation was going to go because, to me it seemed like, Mariah, you've not been in the house and for a reason, but now all of a sudden you want to get you some camera time and talk about how Amir hurt your feelings and how she started out with, I was hurt. Well, actually, it's the whole setup. Because anytime, I believe this, if I'm talking to somebody and Terrell, can I talk to you for a second? Ooh, do you know about red bottoms? Ooh, these shoes hurt. I'm like, oh, I'm about to hear it. Because you're trying to get my guard down so you can come at me with something. Yeah. I'd rather you just, Terrell, you got a second? I'm mad at you about this. Get to the point. But I side with Amir on this one because he said, hey, look, I apologized, but you have to own that you reacted the way you chose to react. That's your fault.
Absolutely right. And then even in this moment,
wait a minute. Did you say I was absolutely right?
Yeah, I can.
Sorry,
I just
had to double check. It's not often I hear that, so I just had to double check that that's what you said.
Oh my God! See, that's the problem. You don't listen. Mariah says that Amir's a realtor, right? So he should understand house etiquette, and therefore he knew better than to mix up the clothes. I'm like, wait a minute. 1 + 1 does not equal 22. How do we get here?
No, and it's not like there was a little Milo hamper and then another hamper for all the other people's clothes, and he just mixed them. I think it was just stuff on the floor. He just picked up and threw stuff into the washing machine. He didn't. He didn't.
Well, he said it was an accident, and she says, I don't think it was an accident.
Yeah. And the look on his face, he was like, if he was a lot taller and bigger, he probably would have said, B, what? But he knew. He can't say that to Mariah.
Yeah, should have really split his pants. By the way, Mrs. Smith says, Amir's attitude towards Mariah pissed me off. And Mrs. Smith does say that he does owe her an apology.
Well, I mean, it's all about people's perspectives, and some people feel he owes an apology. Some of us. I think he needs to apologize for not speaking up to say, hey, when the fight happened, hey, wait a minute, I put the clothes in. Let's dial that back. He should have said something in. The fact that he never did. Yeah. Well, it's too late now.
He never did.
Yeah.
It's too exactly. Melissa says, I agree with Amir as it relates to Mariah. Yes. She has to own how she reacted in that moment. And that's the problem. Because even in this moment, you see the shades of that coming back. Like, well, yeah, I don't believe it was an accident. I think you did it on purpose. Mm-hmm. Who, in her own words, who would put dog clothes with regular clothes? All right, never mind.
Again, I just see, thinking back to season 1, he was just grabbing stuff. I don't think he purposely was like, ooh, this is Milo stuff. Let me throw this in the hamper because their place is always filthy. I mean, the house always looks messy.
He probably thought it was Breeze. She's only but this big.
Right. One of Shanice's thongs or something like that. Who knows?
What thongs? She doesn't wear any. Yeah, High Vibes says, bottom line, Amir is a simp. You know, Laurent will be very happy with your use of the word there. Wow. And Dorica says, it appears Amir doesn't respect Mariah, but at the same time, I wouldn't want a forced apology. He doesn't care, and it wasn't sincere. And this is very obvious when he goes and he's talking to Alex and Nick, and he's just like, oh, man, this went exactly the way I expected it to go. And like Nick said, look, man, this is over 365 days ago. We still talking about this? We talking about practice. I agree with Nick.
It's laundry. Move on. Yo, you and Jasmine are cool. You and Bria were cool before season 2 started. Let it go and just move on.
Yeah. By Chocolate Sooner, here's a point that's interesting, right? Because he said he'll chirp up to Phil, but not Mariah. Because he's not going to fight a woman.
Right.
So why go through that? Mariah's energy said this was not going to go easy. Look at she was being nice.
Right.
In this encounter. And she still was mean as hell.
I don't think she was mean as hell.
Tell me it wasn't an accident. I'm literally telling you it was an accident. She was.
I don't think she was mean as hell. I told you it's an accident.
Okay.
I don't think it was mean as hell. I think there's a difference between an argument and a disagreement. And I think they just disagreed and agreed to disagree. Yeah. But her energy, nothing about Mariah to me seemed like she was coming at him hot. So, but even if she did, he's not going to do anything.
She knew better than to raise her voice.
Well, she wants to stay in the house. Look what happened last time she raised her voice.
Hey, Robin, she's like, hey, didn't y'all say he owed an apology? Yeah, but he already apologized. Like Ravine says, he already apologized, though. Yeah. He had already done it. He just didn't. He's like, but she wanted a public apology. Why?
And he apologized, and then she's like, well, thank you for your apology. I just want you to know how your part did. He already apologized. You can't have somebody apologize to you and then berate them again for what they did or what you feel they did.
High Vibe says it's his lack of empathy for me. Do you understand that part at least?
Yeah, he didn't care. He didn't want to do it. Yeah, he didn't want to do it. It's been a year. Amir's moved on.
The chat has solved it. Because Nikki B says, this is about losing a Bravo check, not laundry. And Melissa agrees, saying Mariah feels that Amir messed up her check.
That would make sense.
That
would make sense.
That's the solve. And Robin G, I get your point. She says Amir doesn't have to fight Mariah, just speak up. In that moment, when we looked at that situation last year, that was not going to go, oh, it was you. My bad. I'm sorry, Bria. Amir, that was wrong. Please don't do it again. That's not how that would have gone. Yeah. And you know
all that energy, Amir would have cut all the smoke from everybody. Why would you put the dog's clothes? Everybody would start ganging up on Amir, and I think that would probably have him shut down. He probably wouldn't have been on season 2.
By the way, Dina, thank you. Mariah messed up her check by reacting the way she did.
Yes.
You got to learn to control. One thing we have to learn how to do, and this is something very important, and you know this because you've gone through the ranks and risen in the corporate world as well, right? But there are ways you have to react, and there are ways you handle situations. And the problem is we like to handle them with emotion too damn much, and sometimes you got to shut that emotion down. I like when people are like, well, you don't have a reaction. Oh, I have one. We don't want to see that.
Yeah, this is not the time or place.
We never want to see that.
This is not the time or place. That's when you get off that Teams meeting. You know, I'm going to step away because I feel like we're just not really solving the issue right now. So why don't we regroup and then a couple days. That means I need a couple days to calm down because I was about to lose it. My inner Samuel L. Jackson was about to come out.
You're like, I need to go get something for my car real quick. You jump off the 4th-story building and land on your feet like, all right, I'm good. Let me walk back up the stairs now. Mrs. Smith says it's the difference of how, here's where it really boils down to. This is why I think a lot of the women are mad at him in this case, right? Because this statement right here, Mrs. Smith, I was waiting for somebody to say it. Thank you for stepping up and taking it. It's the difference of how he crawls up Natalie's butt and pacifies her behavior, but dismisses Mariah's legit concerns. I knew somebody was going to do this and bring it back to Natalie on this. I am no fan of Natalie. Terrell will tell you before we got on live, I'm no fan of Natalie. But Natalie's his woman.
Right.
Mariah's the woman that would have whooped his ass.
Right.
There's a difference.
Yeah, you take care of home first. So you living with Natalie. He's going to take care of Natalie. Yes. He doesn't have to see Mariah again until maybe Summer House season 3. So he's fine.
Hey, Naomi has a perfect solution. She's like, look, since everyone blames the liquor, Amir should have said he was drunk. Hey, I was drunk. I didn't know. I thought.
Yeah. Woo, you know how I get after 2 beers.
He's like, my bad. I thought these were Shanice's lost stones.
Yeah. Every time I get drunk, I just start cleaning and doing laundry. That's just my thing. Sorry about that.
Oh, and here comes the other part. An old tweet resurfaced where Amir said he was scared of black women. I'm going to leave that one alone. Let's keep pushing. And thank you, Dino. Dino gets it. Natalie's giving him ass. That's why.
You take care of who takes care of you.
Yeah. Famous words. I was drunk. Well, look, we get past that, but then Natalie doesn't get past Amir. Noticing one of the women walk by and was like, is that Jordan? Oh, no, it's not. That wig's a little wild.
Because he thought it was a different wig. He thought maybe, I haven't seen that wig before. That's all it was.
Yeah. And that is what I was saying from the get-go about Natalie. Because she took that to a whole nother level that was so unnecessary. I've been saying this the whole time. He's like, oh, she's going to cut my balls off.
But okay, now, and I'm sure there's more they edited out, but what we saw, all she did was ask him about, hey, why'd you say that? And she was bothered by it, but it was something that blew over. Like, I don't understand why they even use that as a preview for what's coming next. Like, that was a big thing. It was so little.
Mm-hmm. It was little, but here's the difference. Amir has told us this before about what he has to do, because she won't say when she's upset. She'll just act upset, and he has to go and press and press and press and press and press until she finally says it.
Right, but that's Amir's fault. Mm-hmm. That's not Natalie's fault. Amir chooses to be with somebody who has to do that. So that's the life he's chosen. Yeah. That life comes with a lot of benefits. Yeah. Nice house.
and Teresa's saying like, hey, she might bring it up again. True. She might. She actually might. Well, look, Nick finally tells everybody about his LB, and is it just me? Or was Bria just standing there like she just didn't give 2 shits what he said?
That's how she always stands. Doesn't matter who's talking.
Oh, my God. That is hilarious. All right. Couple other things that happened here. The explanation of strolling, the Divine Nine. Nick gives the history lesson of fraternities and sororities, black fraternities and sororities, right? Mm-hmm. Well, a brief overview. Was it up to standards for you, sir?
It's good enough for the show. They had, the 10 seconds of what he said. It's good enough. He couldn't go into, Africa, different tribes and all that. He couldn't really go deep in depth and then start talking about how Kappas didn't cane originally. But you probably understand that. So there's so many things he could have went in depth. Could have went in depth how we were the first. And, if you didn't get tapped, you couldn't be an alpha. And you got bitter and then you created Omega Psi Phi and Kappa Alpha Psi and all the other things because you couldn't be an alpha. He could have went into all that history, but he didn't.
Hold on. I don't know what happened to your mic just now. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened to your mic just now. Oh my God.
Well, I'm just saying he couldn't go into all the history, but I get it.
Okay. Just in the sense, because you take it in this sense of what they're doing. They're on Bravo, and doing, okay, well, let's explain it for the audience that may not know. It seems like they've tried, like this is one of their missions. It was to give some sort of Black history lesson, because they did that last season, and here they tried. Now, it didn't help that they didn't know any of it, but at least they spoke a little bit on something they knew this time.
Yeah.
Right? So it's, I think, do they hit the mark at least a little bit? Because this was not for anybody who knows the histories. This is for people who have no idea. And why are they all dancing like that?
Well, I think I think it's good, but I would bet, right? I have no data to back this up, but I would bet that the ethnicity and probably a lot of the people who watch this show are probably Black and already know about it. But what I do like what he did was the brief overview was great for somebody maybe 18, 19 years old thinking about joining an organization. I don't even know. I mean, when I was in high school, I didn't know anything about fraternities until I saw School Days. And then when I saw the Alphas, I was just like, that's dope, right? But I didn't know anything about it. And so it's great advertisement for HBCUs. So they're doing a lot of publishing of HBCUs, which I think is great. But then also just kind of giving a little bit of, just a little bit overview of what Greek life is like at HBCUs. Pretty, because you and I went to a PWI and then an HBCU. And being an alpha at a PWI was 9 day different than being an alpha at HBCU. Literally.
Literally. So here's the thing, though. We went to PWI. We went to HBCU. The AKs I know didn't twerk like Noel was doing on that fireplace. Is this, and like Dita says, I'm shocked that the organization's allowed them to call out the names since the AKs were so mad and insecure for wearing pink and green. Well, mainly mad at Amanda Seals for that, and because she was wearing the actual letters. I think it's part of what was a big issue with her, even though she's an actress, right? But yeah,
I don't know. How did you rate the shimmy?
What would you like it on a scale of 1 to 10, sir?
Yeah, however y'all rate your shimmies, however you do it. Is it 2 canes, 3 canes, 1 out of 5 canes? However you rate a shimmy, what'd you think?
I think that Amir should have kept the shoulder still.
Even I shimmy better than Amir did, but I respect that Amir knows better. Yeah. That, hey, I'm not about to try to shimmy around these folks.
And see how Alex called him out, like, yeah, well, he kind of wants to be, but he can't.
Yeah, Alex's shimmy. Yeah. But I'm just not a fan of the shimmy. I just don't like it. Personally.
Well, the fact that you want to grade them tells me that you actually
No, I wanted you to grade them. I didn't want to grade them. All of them are crap to me, but I wanted you to say what you thought. I don't like it.
Apparently, it means a lot to you, sir.
No.
Because the way you want to know the grade, I mean, that's kind of...
You can try to turn this around. I mean, it's not working, but good try. and I'll tell you, I'm not a Kappa hater. When Kappa's cane and all that, or when they put the canes down in step, I like a lot of things that I've seen. But I just can't stand the shimmy. Just one of the things, every time I see it on Instagram, I scroll right past. If I'm seeing shimmies, I'm like, nope.
Hey, like Jay says, don't fall for y'all. Don't worry, I know tarot. I know better than this.
Well, why don't you shimmy for us? Why don't you show us your shimmy?
No. I'm not on command for you. I am not your
Dance,
slave.
monkey, dance.
Did you just call me the monkey? We don't make ape sounds. Wrong fraternity. You see, look what you saw.
Even Pink Butterfly. I was trying to put it up too. Pink Butterfly wants to see it.
Yeah, like Gator on Jungle Fever. That was. That is funny. I'm not even gonna lie. That is funny. Now, had you said something like that, Terrell, I could respect it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, yeah. How'd you think of Phil going up to Tasia's sister? Like, who you is?
Tru Phil. Because he knows he has no shot with all the other ladies.
Yeah.
He's tainted that. So someone new is in the room. He's like, hey there. How are you? And it's like, oh, I'm Nick's cousin. I'm Nick's cousin. Oh, yeah, let me leave her alone then. Actually, no, Nick's girlfriend. Yeah,
Nick's girlfriend's sister.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, let me leave her alone.
Everybody knows Nick.
Yeah.
All right, the devil showed up again. You are not blaming Bria for her reaction when Simon came down in that flamingo outfit.
No, she went to check her dude.
Okay, why?
What Simon did, that was not the time or place to do that. It was Nick's party. So Bria was trying to respect Nick's deal. And it was not just a random, let's just get drunk. Everything Nick put into that day meant something to him, right? So Bria was, doing the right thing, sticking up for a friend, and then Simon is embarrassing her in front of all these black people.
He said Simon embarrassed me. Yeah. Well, okay. Here's the thing. You cannot date someone, live with someone, know what they do, and then be mad when they do what they do. What show was this we watched? Wasn't it Married at First Sight? When they came up in the dinosaur to cook breakfast, the dinosaur office, just like that? Why are you surprised?
Well, I'm not surprised that he did it. All I'm saying is Bria, and she even told him not to do that beforehand. So she gave him the mom speech. When we get in the store, don't touch nothing. You don't want nothing. Don't ask for nothing. She gave him the speech, and he still got drunk and went Simon.
Well, that's because, like Sanan's fan said, Simon was white boy drunk. He was white boy wasted. He didn't give a about it. He was like, hey, you know what's going to be funny? Let me put on my outfit and dance by myself.
Now, that's what's interesting is I'm curious. I wish I could interview Simon. Like, hey, so because you're dating a black woman, do you feel it's just okay for you to get white boy drunk wherever you want? Because I know I've been in rooms where there's not many people look like me, and that's the last place I'm going to get Terrell drunk. But just a thought.
Dorica says Bria seems embarrassed of him in general. I mean, I guess so. But like Robin G says, Bria was still too loud about it. And here's where I have the problem. She made it worse. Immediately.
Because he wouldn't stop. She's telling him, hey, stop. Take that down. Go put that back upstairs. I told you not to wear that. He continues to drink whatever was in his cup and continues just to dance like he doesn't care what she's saying. So now she's getting really mad.
You've been around drunk people. Specifically, drunk people who look like Simon. How often do they listen?
I don't tell him anything because it's not my deal. I'll tell you what, I haven't had any of them in my house at my party. I haven't had that happen in my party. I've been out of the place. I'm just like, oh man, look at Braxton over there just being stupid. Typical Braxton. You're just like, whatever. But you're not gonna be at my party doing that.
Touche. Yo, Jeremy says, when you're in an interracial relationship, you have to tell your partner the do's and the don'ts. The problem is she did, and he don't listen. She do tell him, and he don't listen.
And he don't listen. Not much you can do about that.
There really shouldn't. There's nothing. I'll be honest. There's nothing she could have done, but she did make it worse by getting really loud with him there. Making a scene there. Then going upstairs and going, well, we're no longer in front of everybody. Yelling and screaming upstairs so everybody downstairs can hear.
I don't think everybody downstairs could hear. I think that was editing because if you notice when they went upstairs, apparently he tooted and that just funked up the whole front. And so you saw everybody standing there and they go up the stairs. Then they show another cut of them still standing there talking about it. I don't think they could hear what she was saying to Simon in the room upstairs.
Okay. I feel you. You know Bria is not quiet. I'm sure they heard her. Oh, Nikki B says Bria has no subtlety and Simon has no melanin. What does that have to do with it? But she wasn't pretty aggressive. High Vibe like says she was pretty aggressive. I'll stab the flamingo.
But she's dramatic. He knows who he's dating. And what do you expect? I'm glad Preston stopped her. It was like, no, you're not going to get a knife and go stab a flamingo and accidentally stab him in the leg. He bleed out. Now you're in jail.
Right.
On TV.
A whole nother thing. By the way, Ravine loved the fact that you said tooted.
Tooted.
Oh, my God. And Ravine also says he was already funky, I believe.
That whole house to me looks like it stinks.
Okay, funny you should say that because Dorica said that earlier. This house looks like it smells. Remember when they came back in and they left all the lobster and all that stuff on the counter? I was like, oh, that house looks like it stinks right now. Shanice made a point about that earlier in this episode saying the garbage smell like BV. And I'm like, yeah, this is not good. Like, how do you throw fish away and leave it inside the house and think that's going to be cool?
What's BV?
I feel
got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm slow. I'm sorry. I'm slow.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. By the way, High Vibe says I have new respect for Nick. We share the same alma mater, Tuskegee U.
Yeah,
Nikki
and I agree
gave-
with High Vibe. They need some Fabuloso in that house. Fabuloso's amazing. Get on it.
So, no Vaseline, but you must have Fabuloso.
Yes. I like to smell clean. I need to smell something that tells me it's clean.
When we had the bar, it was bleach. Not the best smell, but you knew it was clean.
Yeah, but I feel like bleach, it smells like you're trying to clean up a crime scene. I don't like my house to smell like bleach.
Well, this is the bar.
It smells like Pine Sol, Fabuloso.
But the next thing you
like,
open-
oh, there was some cleaning that happened here. If it smells like bleach, I'm like, what are you trying to hide in here? What happened?
See, Michelle says, give me the bleach smell, because you know it's clean.
Yeah.
You know it's clean. Another round says, hey, okay, which scent of Fabuloso?
I don't really pay attention. I just grab the purple bottle. And
I'm about to say, what color?
Yeah, I just grab the
Treat it
purple.
like soda.
Yeah. What scent? Purple.
Hey, Dina's over here as a chemist. Pine Sol mixed with Fabuloso.
Interesting. Maybe.
Casey Cake says, purple Fabuloso all day. High Vibes says, great. And by the way, Dorica says, hey, y'all don't be mixing cleaning products with bleach. Whatever you do, don't do that. All right?
No, you don't do that. Learned that lesson long, long time ago.
And as soon as she says that, here comes another round. Pine Sol mixed with bleach. Damn it, man. There's always someone. By the way, that purple, that grape y'all talking about, Teresa says that's the lavender, okay?
No, mine doesn't smell like lavender. My air freshener is lavender. It's night and day difference. So I don't think it's lavender.
Okay, here's the thing, though. And this is why bleach. Thank you, Lucy B. Bleach trumps Fabuloso. It's like putting perfume on instead of washing your ass.
Agree to
Bleach,
disagree.
you know, is clean.
Fabuloso, I know it's clean. I know it's clean when I use it.
Uh-huh.
The ladies that come to clean my house use it, and we agree, clean.
And by the way, another round says she can mix her stuff because she's a chemist.
She knows what she's doing. I would trust that.
Look, she's still able to type, so I know if the chemicals are wrong, she's still good because she's still going strong, still doing her pod too. So now, if all of a sudden while she's doing the pod, she starts sliding down, that was the pine, salt, and bleach. And another one, I believe he's also Jamaican, so West Indians know how to mix some stuff up as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so Lucy B says they have watermelon fabuloso now that you can mix it in. No, that's just their way of trying to get more black people to buy fabuloso. I'm not gonna have watermelon flavor.
Really?
Yeah, watermelon flavor fabuloso.
Did you say watermelon flavor?
I'm sorry, scented fabuloso. You get what I'm trying to say.
Hey, wait, he says bleach kills the germs that don't want to die. Right there. Kind of like Vaseline cures everything. Or not.
I don't know about Vaseline curing everything, but...
Oh, man. Look. It's so many different cleaning things. This is just like first, second, and third base. So many different ways this can go. Because Chocolate Student says, I like the pink one. Dina says, Fabuloso is greater than Simply Green, which is greater than Pine Sol, with a few drops of bleach. I've watched our clean people mix it. That's a lot. What happened to good old just
How
Mr.
dirty
Clean?
is y'all's house that you got to do all this? How dirty are some of y'all that you got to mix all these things?
Lyrics Mom says, I love the green apple flavor. Hey, Ravine notices what I noticed. He goes, hey, we have to keep an eye on another round now. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Here we go. This is the cue right here. Bleach is also a cure for AIDS, but that's another topic for another day.
Well, I also heard it's a cure for COVID.
Oh,
according to President Trump.
Oh my God! Well, let me not. I'm not gonna say that. Let me stop. I was about to say something I have no business saying. Let me leave it alone.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when we sign off. Do us a favor, man. You're right in here. Do us a favor and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Tomorrow we're back because Never Ever Mets. Whew. Sheesh. Hey.
Mess.
Yeah.
Mess.
And we're only 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mess. I still think that whole show is capped, but let's keep making fun of it.
Well, they already said the first couples were friends that just went on to be famous, and that's what they did. I don't know what kind of fame they expected to get off of that. That didn't look good. By the way, before we get out of here, Keedy says, no, it's ex-Prez. And High Vibe says, soon to be incarcerated Prez. Teflon Don's not going to jail. Sorry to tell y'all. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
That ain't going to happen.
I'm not voting for him, but it's not going to happen. Sorry. Y'all wanted to. It's not going to happen.
So tomorrow we'll do the Never Ever Shoulda Mets. Look out for the notification of that. Probably back the same time that we did today too. So I'll be on the lookout for that. All right. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Terrell.
Make sure you follow us at Yanni Rude, at Just Terrell, and at RGRT Pod.
Yeah, send us some of your random thoughts or some of the bullshit you find on the internet. We'll talk about it on the show.
It's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts Podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.